Well, this video is for those who bought the backdoor course, either through the website or Instagram. So this course is for beginners who can't or don't know how to set up an environment. We're going to install Oracle VirtualBox, install Kali Linux, and also configure a Python environment. For that, we're going to go to good old Google and type VirtualBox download. This is for those with a Windows machine. If you have a Mac or Linux machine, download VirtualBox for whatever platform you're using. After you download it, you'll install it. Very simple. Just click Next and install VirtualBox. I don't think I need to explain that. After that, we'll go back to Google and search for Kali Nethuntr 2 VirtualBox. Let's click on the kali.org link here. There'll be a link here, but I'll leave this link in the description, okay? Which will take us right to virtual machines, and we'll choose the virtual machine, we'll choose the VirtualBox ISO, the VirtualBox image. I've already started downloading it here because it takes a while. The download is a bit limited. Even if you have really good internet, the download speed is somewhat limited. While it downloads, I'm going to open a VM I already have of Kali Linux locally, so you can understand some things, okay? So I already have Kali Linux installed. I'm going to show you how to install Kali Linux, but I want to explain a few things first. If I go here to configuration settings and then to network, there are some network options that are really important for creating a pen test lab. It seems kind of obvious what I'm about to say, but we never use our own machine, our personal machine or work machine to test, cybersecurity things. We always test this on a virtual machine or a computer we don't use. Why? Because you might be testing ransomware that encrypts all the machine's data, and it could end up infecting and encrypting your personal files. Then you'll be a victim of a ransomware attack. So that's not what we want. To have a secure environment, we need to isolate the virtual machine so we don't create vulnerabilities in our internal or corporate network. I don't know which network you're using. Some use personal networks, others corporate. Corporate is worse, right? So we need to be even more careful when using these VMs on a corporate network. So we have bridge mode, NAT mode, internal network mode, right? NAT is a computer networking concept, so I suggest you check out some networking classes to understand what NAT is. For now, I'll explain bridge mode, which we're using today. Our Kali Linux will be in bridge mode. Why? Because we're not testing viruses on it, we're using it to attack. So it needs to be just another machine on the network. It'll get an IP from your router, like it's a new computer on your network, okay? So bridge mode is like putting a physical computer on the network. It'll get an IP as if it were a new computer. And we're going to set this promiscuous mode to deny, okay? What is this promiscuous mode? Promiscuous mode means we can listen to all network packets, including from outside machines, especially from outside machines. In other words, we listen to the packets, our own packets, and we also listen to packets from other machines. There are some limitations with wireless, okay? So since I'm using a wireless network card, there'll be some limitations, and also some routers block promiscuous mode for security, but we're going to leave it set to deny or not allow, okay? So in Kali Linux, here's how it works. If we install a vulnerable machine on our network, like for example, this Windows 7 machine here, which is very vulnerable, then I use the mode. I actually made a mistake here, probably. I used it in bridge mode, but that's because my machine is isolated. But the correct way, if you're using your personal machine, is to use host only, meaning the network will be closed off to just that machine with no access to the outside, especially if you're testing ransomware. So in my case here, I know what I'm doing, but if you don't know what you're doing, never use bridge mode or NAT mode for this kind of thing. Use only host only, okay? With NAT mode, I create my own network. I can create my own network with NAT mode, right? And I'm going to teach you guys how to do that in the upcoming lessons. One very important thing too. So to summarize, this is extremely important for you to understand. If you create a VM to test ransomware, a virus, a Trojan, or a backdoor that you didn't create yourself and don't know how it works, create a host-only network. Never use bridge mode, because if that ransomware or backdoor spreads across the entire network, your whole network will get infected by that software. So this should be pretty obvious. So yeah, now our next step is going to be installing Kali Linux. All right, guys, now that we've downloaded the Kali Linux image, I'll go to New and name my virtual machine Kali Linux Test. You don't need to add test. I'm adding it so I know which machine to delete later, since I already have one installed here. Here I'll select Debian Linux, Linux Debian 64-bit. For the hard disk, I'll save it and choose where I want to save my VDI image file. So pick a location, a safe folder, okay? I chose Kali Linux Test and I'll click Save here. After that, I'll click on, or you can also choose another option, which is use an existing virtual disk, okay? But I suggest you choose this second option because it's faster. So I'll go to use existing virtual hard disk, click here, and then click Add. After I add it, I'll go to my Downloads folder where I downloaded my Kali Linux and choose the VDI file. If you don't see the VDI, come down here and select the VDI extension. After that, you'll come here, click on the VDI and hit Open. Once you've opened it, double-click on this VDI and click Finish. Done. I'll come here, click on my virtual machine and hit Start. It's really simple to install a pre-made VM like the VDI in VirtualBox, okay? For those who don't know what VDI is, VDI stands for Virtual Disk Image, okay? It's the virtual hard drive of the machine. It contains the Kali Linux operating system, files and programs, and that's what you attach as a disk in the new VM. Now the .vbox file, when you see a .vbox extension, that's the virtual machine configuration file. It stores settings like RAM, CPU, network, etc. Very simple. An important detail, the vbox extension, it's a file that already belongs to an existing virtual machine. We're going to see it creating these files here on our machine. Look, it already created the vbox. So the VDI is the hard drive and the vbox is the virtual machine configuration. Very simple, there's no mystery to it. An important detail, I skipped the part about unzipping, but I don't think I need to explain how to unzip a file, right? I think anyone who wants to get into cybersecurity needs to have basic IT knowledge. Well, here we have Kali Linux already running and didn't need to install it from scratch or anything. The default password for Kali is Kali, user Kali, password Kali. Most likely Kali Linux won't come ready pre-configured with all the kernel packages, the operating system core. So we're going to have to configure this. And it's very simple to configure. I'm going to come here, I'm going to put it in scaled mode. It's easier for me to explain to you on the screen in scaled mode. There are several options here. I can also adjust the screen, the window, right here in view. Well, yeah, it's still small here. Well, I found the screen here. It's not auto resizing. I'll probably need to restart the VM. So I'm going to shut down the VM and start it back up. For those who want to install Kali Linux on their smartphone on Android, go to my Instagram and subscribe for $1 a month. You get a new course every week. So in these courses, we have courses where we teach creating a backdoor, installing Kali Linux on Android, and in the future, we'll also add free intro to cybersecurity courses. So check it out on Instagram for those who don't want to subscribe on Instagram. Just want to pay for the course once and that's it. Go to zerosday.com, click, get started, choose your level, start the course, pay for the course you want, and watch the class for 2 weeks. This class is available for up to 2 weeks. The difference between the course on the site versus Instagram is that on Instagram it stays there forever. So now my virtual machine is in full screen, which makes it easier to explain some things to you. So the first thing we're going to do here is upgrade and update. So since I already, to avoid using too much disk space on my Kali Linux, what am I going to do? You guys don't need to do this. I'm going to shut mine down and remove this VM because I already have this VM ready. So I'll use my own Kali Linux. Well, just remember that the default password, Kali comes with a default password. It's not admin. Kali's password used to be Kali and root and or root and Thor. Kali's admin password is root and Thor, but now, if I'm not mistaken, it's changed, right? Not now? It's been a while since it changed. If I'm not mistaken, both of them are. It's Kali and Kali. A lot of people end up getting lost on this part of Kali Linux. So for the next few classes, our main requirement here on Kali Linux is Python. So I'm going to come here to Python -- version. Oops. And here I already have Python 3.13, but I'm going to walk through the steps with you to install the latest version of Python. So I'm going to come here to Google and type install Python. Why am I coming to Google? I know how to install Python, but I want those of you who don't know, who don't have that self-taught mindset, to research along with me so you can start learning to be independent. So here I have Python for Windows, but I'm going to use Linux. Oops, I'm back. So I'm going to check my Python version, and I'll use this command here, sudo apt install Python. And this is for Debian and Ubuntu. Kali Linux is a Debian, so you'll use this command, sudo apt-get install Python 3.9. The password is Kali. always install the latest Python. Kali Linux already comes with Python installed, but it's important to update and install the most current version. Today it's 3.9. If you take my course and have 3.9.1, some things might change. So it's important you install exactly this version to follow along with the courses we're doing. All right, so I installed Kali Linux and Python. One very important thing we need to do is update the system, sudo apt update. This will install and update the necessary dependencies currently on Kali Linux, okay? Now, for you guys, this might take a bit longer, okay? Besides the apt update, I already had my system updated a while back, so for you, it might take longer. So what does apt update do? It updates the list of available packages and downloads info from the repositories. It doesn't install anything. It's like refreshing the store catalog. And after that, we're going to do a sudo apt upgrade. I've got an error here, but that's because I made a bunch of modifications. Yeah, after the update, the sudo apt upgrade. The upgrade, yes, it uses the info downloaded from the update, okay, to apply updates. So if an update comes out, say for nmap on Kali Linux, apt update discovers there's a new version and apt upgrade installs it. I'm not going to do this now or else my system will break, but you guys should do it on yours. And besides that, there's also a command called sudo apt full upgrade, okay? Hey, what's the difference with this one? Okay, it's that this command can remove or replace packages if needed. Yeah, it's very common to use this on Kali Linux because Kali gets big updates frequently. So the good thing about Kali Linux is that it gets updates all the time. But I prefer for now to use the update and upgrade command. Well, now that I've created my environment, my Kali Linux, do I need to do anything else? No, but now I'm going to teach you how to install the Python environment. To install the Python environment we're going to use, we'll create a folder called, let's think here, mkdir courses, and I'll do a cd courses. Now I'm going to create a Python environment. Why do I need to create a Python environment? Because Kali Linux in general, already comes with Python installed. Linux is an operating system that uses Python heavily. So to avoid messing up the Kali Linux environment, since it already has Python installed, we'll create a separate environment, a virtual environment called venv, separate for our projects. Why is that? Because if we install a dependency that's badly formatted, outdated, problematic, or conflicts with other dependencies, we'll have issues with the operating system, okay? So before doing that, I'm going to install venv sudo apartment. Oh, one detail. If something breaks in our environment, we just delete it without having to reformat our whole setup again. So sudo apt install python 3 venv. Just like we're creating a virtual machine so we don't mess up our computer or cause problems with our operating system, we're going to create a virtual environment so we can have more security. If there's a problem, I'll say yes here, okay? To restart the service. If there's a problem with venv, I delete venv, investigate what happened first, of course, then delete and recreate it. Simple as that. For those who don't know anything about Python, don't worry, because over time it gets easier to learn and understand. You don't need to be a Python pro. Ideally, you'd have some programming knowledge, but if not, just follow along with the lessons, and any questions, drop them in the comments on Instagram or YouTube. I'm making this video available for free, so ask your questions, share it, leave a like to help out, hit the bell, and subscribe to the channel. All right, we installed Venv. Now we're going to create the Venv itself. Python, Python 3, and Venv, and the name of my environment. I could put anything here, but I'm going to put Venv as well. There, I created my Venv. If I come here to the courses folder, I have Venv. Now, I just need to get inside the Venv. Let's say I want to install a Python library called Scapy. I can't just install it the way I am. I'm outside the environment. If I install Scapy without entering the environment, I'll install it globally, meaning on the operating system, and we don't want that. All right, a pretty simple script we're going to make here, okay? We're going to send a ping to the target 8.8.8.8. So I'm going to come here to response, senior1 packet, timeout equals 2, and I'm going to set verbose to false. Don't want to see logs. If response, print success, else print error. Going to save, Control X, Y, and enter. Going to come here to Python, testa.py. Oops. Got an error here. Let's see what happens. Sudo nano testi.py. I imported it wrong here, guys. It's from import. Let's see if it won't give any errors. Who knows doing it live? Yeah, got an error here. Let's see what happened. Sudo nano testi.py. Who said life was easy? Packet. I put that wrong too. ICMP, is that right? Let's see now. Wow, got a bunch of errors here. Most likely because this machine isn't on the network. Hey, well guys, let me explain something. So for us to run this script by typing python testi.p, we need to run it with sudo, okay? Because otherwise we won't be able to perform this type of operation. So we're going to type sudo python testi.py. Let's hit enter. There we go. We sent a ping to Google's server 8.8.8.8. Same thing as if I came here to the terminal and did ping 8.8.8.8. Same thing, okay? Except we did it with Scapy and we did it manually. If you ping on Windows or Linux, you'll see it already says ICMP. ICMP is a ping protocol, so that's exactly what we did here in testi.p. We created an ICMP protocol and we used the IP protocol to set the destination, meaning we used two communication protocols here, actually three communication protocols, IP, ICMP, and SR1, right? IP creates the IP header, ICMP adds the ICMP layer for ping, and SR1 just sends and waits for a response, okay? It's not exactly a protocol, but it's important for sending. That's why I've said it thousands of times, and I'll repeat once more. Understanding the OSI layer is crucial to be a pen tester, to work in cybersecurity, especially if you want to be on the red team. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. This was the first class, the intro class, so you can take the next classes and challenge yourself in the world of cybersecurity, which is a really cool, fascinating world, right? Especially for those who are curious and want to make money, cybersecurity is hiring. Unlike software development, which is declining thanks to AI, cybersecurity remains strong and always will, especially for professionals who master technology as a whole. It's not enough to just program or understand networks. You practically need to be a computer science expert to understand cybersecurity. What we did here is actually pretty simple. There's more to learn going forward, so subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment below with improvements, critiques, or compliments. It's really important that you comment too. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike, no problem. Share if you enjoyed it. Check out Instagram at ZeroAsday, our official page. I'll put it in the video description too, and see you next time.